Monday. Today's the 10th of April 2017, and I thought I would just give you a quick walkthrough of how I store my stash and my project bags. So this background might look familiar to you if you watch our podcast, because we film the podcast in front of this bookshelf every week unless we are filming it live on location. So let's take a closer look. Most of my stash is 4-ply weight, and most of my stash is pink. There's a beautiful sock blanket by Alabot Yarn. I've got some Pandia's Jewels. I've got some Sarah's Texture Crafts. I've got some Ginger Twist Studio, very colorful yarnings, West Yorkshire Spinners, Rusty Ferret. What else? I know I've got more than that. I'm just not, the coffee hasn't kicked in yet this morning. So this is where I keep full skeins, and then also partial skeins that I'm either going to like knit up into like maybe scrappy socks or use in combination with other stuff for like hats, like for my niece and nephews, or stuff like that. So this is all on the bookshelf behind where we podcast. Now down here on this shelf below, this is not really stash, but we've got our collection of Pom Pom Quarterly magazines. I've got our Doctor Who collection that my friend Trisha crocheted for me. I've got a box of tickets. I've got sheep. I've got, here if I can show you, Sarah Jane, the podcast monster with lots and lots of badges on it. There's Jamie. Hi, Jamie. So this is what is behind us when we podcast every week. Now down here, are you surprised that there's pink sparkly boxes down here on the floor? Okay, first, in this humongous Winnie the Pooh bag that my friend Sam of Knit Run Dick Project Bags made for me is leftover fingering weight scraps after I have knit it into a zigzag stripe on my zigzag blanket. In this box, which is hard to see because it's dark back here in this corner, this is all leftovers to use on preemie hats. And this is my preemie hat bag that's got the needles and everything that I use every week in it. In this bag, which is a little gray girl bag that I love, is all of my pom-pom makers. And then the rest in there is just all yarn for preemie hats, which I knit every Sunday and which I talked to you all about on yesterday's vlog. Now, in the yellow with flowers round bag is just things like beads and notions and like crochet hooks for provisional cast-ons and everything like that. And then the beautiful pink flowery case. This is a case that my bestie Katie made for me for my birthday, and it has all of my knitting needles in it. I don't have very many fixed circulars anymore. I mostly have interchangeables, so that's in there. In just a minute, I'll open that up to show you. But in this other pink sparkly box is lots and lots and lots of 4-ply yarn, and this is all for my 10-stitch zigzag blanket. So it takes about 35 to 40 grams of yarn to do a stripe. So I have all these leftovers, and I've got also some of it's from me, some of it's from Dammy, and some is from podcast viewers that they've sent me stuff so that I can add a stripe to my zigzag blanket. Okay, I said I would open this up to show you my needle storage. Now first, in this pouch, which is by Aileen Clark, who I've talked about many times on the podcast, I have a brooch and a ring and so lots of lovely things from her. She's a needle felter. And in this little pouch is all the cords for my interchangeable needles. And then you lift this up, and I've got all of my tips. There are a few fixed circulars, but also from Yarnistry, I have these cool little markers that tell you what size in millimeter the needles are, and you just put them around the interchangeable tips, and that keeps them all organized. So that is how I store my needles. And finally, how I store my project bags. So what I have done is I have put some of the removable, I think the brand is Command, hooks on the wall to hang bags from. So this bag is from Knit Run Dig as well, and it was part of my I Love You More Than Pumpkin Spice sock kit that I did. This bag is again by Sam, and it is from the kit that she and I did for my first Coffee with CC book. I have a fabulous Winnie the Pooh bag by All About Yarn. I have a I Craft So Hard I Sweat glitter bag from Suburban Stitcher. I have this cool see-through bag with knit fabric print on top by Chicken Boots from my friend Jilly. I have my brand new Winnie the Pooh bag that I just showed on this week's podcast from Georgianne of the Stitching Plaza. And then there is a, in my bedroom, I didn't bring it in, is a Supernatural project bag from my friend Kelly that was done by Slip Stitch Studio. And then I also have a couple more hooks. So this one is just a tote bag that I use occasionally. This is from, most of these bags are from Kelly Connor Designs. So I use this tote bag occasionally. But the rest of these, all the ones on this hook right here, are ones I'm going to make into pillows for my sofa eventually. So I've got to get your knit on. I've got a freaking love knitting. I have one of our book project bags, which we have a few of these left. If you wanted one and didn't get one, send me a PM on Ravelry Java Pearl and I can hook you up with that. This one is from Anna Maltz. It's this cute little knitting penguin. How fun is that? And then I have a Sock Xiao one from Coop Knits. And finally, I have Bad Mother Knitter, also by Kelly Connor Designs, because I'm a bad mother knitter. So what about you? How do you store your yarn stash, your project bags, your needles? I would love to know. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and I will be back tomorrow with another fun vlog. See you then. Bye.